Hello, and today I'm going to be talking about special chords, C4, C6, and how the chords look like and how they sound like if you combine them with arpeggios, spacing, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, so even though I'm using the C2 chord, I'm really extending this definition to all of the chords. So what I'm going to be doing for the C2 chord, you can apply it to the F2, the F sharp 2, the B2, whatever. But I'm just going to say with the C2 to keep it simple. If you combine this with inversions, the C2 chord, you get interesting sounds. So if you combine the C2 chord with spacing, you have, and you get an interesting combination here, because this looks like a G5. So this is a G5 and this is a C. So this is basically a C2, but it gives you a very different color. If you combine this with arpeggios and spacing, you're going to have you can also play it going down, you can play it going up, many different things. So the C4 chord, if you combine it with inversions, you also get interesting things. You get an F2, which is very weird because they're basically the same chord, only inversions of themselves. If you go up one more time, you get that. Now, as you know, a C4 chord wants to resolve. The same goes for the inversion. So if I do the inversion over here, go up. Now if you combine it with arpeggios, you get. Now you can also combine it in many different ways. For example, so basically what I did there was I took this C4 chord and extended it, and then I resolved it. And I went to F, because it kind of makes sense that you're going to go to F. I mean, like, you're already playing an F, almost. You're almost playing an F. It's basically an F2, so it kind of makes sense that you would go to F. Now, if you combine inversions with the C6 chord, you get very interesting things. And if you combine it with pieces, you guys know the drill already. If you combine a C6 chord with arpeggiation, you can get this. You can also use pieces of this. So one more interesting thing about the C6 chord is if you play it, and then you get rid of the G, you get an A minor chord. Now you can end songs with this, it sounds really nice. Which is pretty cool. Now with the C7 chord, if you add inversions to this, you get different colors as well, which you can use in many different contexts. If you combine a C7 chord with inversions and pieces, you get something like this. If you combine a C7 chord with arpeggiation, you would get something like this. If you combine a C major 7 chord with inversions, you get. If you combine a C major 7 chord with pieces, you would get. If you combine a C major 7 chord with arpeggiation, you would get this. Now, the reason a C major 7 chord would sound rainy, like there's rain falling on the outside, it's not only because I'm playing it slowly, but also because there's an E minor over here. So if you get rid of the C, you get an E minor, which is very interesting.